If your feed lately is full of how to get 100k subs in 30 days with high retention editing flying across the screen that's making your brain hurt, I invite you to come sit at the campfire here with me while I reflect on my 3 months of YouTube and how it's changed my life. I don't mean now I have thousands of dollars and just play video games. I focused almost all of my attention on YouTube over the past few months. I quit school, work nearly 60 hours a week on making videos, and I have 22 subscribers and $0 to show for it. I have some points in my pretty purple notebook to get through. Want to talk about, not Netflix may cry, the difficulty curve on learning how to edit videos, my thoughts on school, the imposter syndrome, the fear of uncertainty, especially financially, and short form content versus does anyone even watch this kind of video anymore? And so, I want to go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and play the silent today, partly because I want to hopefully get a crazy combo and be able to cut it into shorts, and partly because, well, I guess that's the main reason. I'm also playing on Ascension 1 just because I don't want to have a nice, easy breezy, beautiful time. And maybe a random rare card can be really good. Okay. So I'll try and focus back on the topic. I'll go ahead and start with editing videos and how this video is going to have really light editing. So back in the day of like Markiplier and such, editing videos used to, as far as I can tell, be done on things like VLC Media Player. And I am quite blessed that in the year of our Lord 2026, I was able to get DaVinci Resolve for free instead. So I've had a much easier time with the learning curve than it probably used to be. But at the same time, like, for those who don't know, those who know versus those who don't know, video editing is a lot more like programming or coding than I would have expected. And so if you've programmed anything before, I can kind of give you a visual that, like, there's nodes that you can reorganize to get certain effects to happen, and like there's a lot of cool things you can make. And so part of the reason I'm releasing a lot less videos than I used to is because I've been wanting to sort of make more original, like high effort videos than just sort of my original playing a game and then uploading the game. I'm trying to make more like, you've seen it has a little something for no one, then you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like, I want to make more like not short form vertical aspect content, but like short little skits, I guess. And so that's what I've been working on lately. It's been a lot more editing than I initially thought, but I've been learning a lot, and it feels really good to actually be learning things, so maybe I'll go ahead and transition that into school. Pretty purple notebook. So when I first started this channel, I was in school for, well, a really niche field that I guess I won't get into because it would effectively dox me with how few schools for it there are in the United States, but I basically was in school for a really niche medical field and realized I was only doing it for the money and not to be like holier than thou, because the only reason I realized that was because these recruiters came in and talked to us at the very end of the first semester, and they could not give any straight answers about how much the pay is and stuff like that. And then when I finally did get an answer, it was unsatisfactory. So I went ahead and did what any normal, rational person would do, and decided I would do something different, something that I was more interested in, which it was actually my mom that pointed this out when I was talking to her about it. She said, "Oh yeah, you always wanted to do that since you were a kid." And it reminded me, the first YouTube video I ever made was probably when I was like somewhere around 12 years old. And that was the wild, wild west of YouTube. I'm not even sure if you could like post videos anymore if you're that young, but you could get away with it back then. And so I had forgotten over time that that was even something I was interested in, because it was always like a stupid thing. Like you can't just do that. Like all the people that were successful in doing that, they already found out the secret. There's no more room at the top. And like, on the one hand, that's kind of fine in the sense that I had Liesl there. In the sense that like, I don't really feel like I need to get to the top. Maybe I should take that into talking about what the initial channel goals were. So basically, I am a big fan of the Northern Lion, and he went on vacation. And so I was like, oh, surely we're gonna get some like original YouTube videos. For those who don't know, before being a streamer, Northern Lion, I like shivs. I want a crazy shiv build. He basically started with Binding of Isaac and just recording himself yapping and posting those up. I mean, like, he didn't invent the format, but if you watch my old videos, it's very clear who I got inspiration from. And I look back on that, I'm like, do I regret it? I think the answer is yes and no. Like, on the one hand, you probably shouldn't be doing that, but on the other, it actually got me like up and ready to make my own content, which, like, I guess it's even debatable if I really make my own content with some of the stuff I've been putting out lately, but that's besides the point. Point being, I don't really upload videos like that anymore just because, well, they're not original, they don't bring anything new to the table, and it was a great starting point just for kind of like getting my feet in the door and trying to figure out what I'm doing. But I don't think I regret it, but at the same time, like, I wish I had just started off with my own ideas right off the get-go. But on the other hand, that can be like, you'll have stuff in your head of like, oh my god, I want to make this, I want to make this, I want to make this. And you open up DaVinci Resolve and you look at it and you're like, oh man, making this is gonna be pretty difficult. So I started small. Probably could have done another defend there. And I liked roguelikes, so it wasn't like I'm literally just like playing whatever is popular. There was even a point where I actually, whenever I was going to name a video, I would go ahead and type it into the search bar and make sure it wasn't like exactly the same as a Northern Line video title. Because when I watched, or when I made my first video, maybe I was too harsh on Perfected Strike. I noticed whenever I went to bed later that night and put on my nightly fall asleep line, that there was a video titled something like maybe I was too harsh on you. I'm like, oh my god. It was embedded into my brain. And I kind of got away from making like those kinds of videos. Or I guess these kinds of videos. Maybe I'll talk about the other thing. I'll go ahead and go straight to short form content. So it seems the game of YouTube, the landscape, has changed in such a way that short form is king right now. And a lot of the YouTube gurus are kind of like, oh, you have to pump out as much short form as possible because like that's what people watch. And the short form views will move over to your long form content. Oh dear, 33 damage. Hold up. This is scary. First. Backflip. Jeez. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. Oh my god, we would have had lethal if we just... So, I really like those old style of videos. Like, put them on your second monitor, or put them on to fall asleep. I also keep making really bad plays in Slay the Spire. Which I guess is really nothing new. Some things never change. Vajra is really nice. And Shadow Step, maybe? So I guess I did promise at the beginning of the video that this video was for people who's been brain rotted by all of the algorithm stuff. Oh my god, and we have Gremlin Horn. What else do I talk about? I really thought it would take me longer to get through these bullet points. Oh, I guess I can talk about the fear of uncertainty. So, part of the downside about quitting your job in school to focus on YouTube is that you don't make any money. So that's kind of a problem sometimes, if you would believe it. But my initial goal whenever I started this channel was to have it monetized within 3 months, which is part of the reason why I'm making the video. And I really gotta know if Burst Shadow Step will make it so that next turn my attacks do quadruple damage for the next 2 turns. Okay. I mean, that's still pretty good. So, my initial goal was to get monetized within 3 months and like make enough money to be able to pay the bills, etc. And I didn't really realize what that would entail. And quite frankly, it seems to be an incredibly unrealistic goal, if I'm being honest. So, at the beginning of the video, I talked about like, whenever you're making a YouTube channel, you'll start getting this stuff in your feed that's like, category your YouTube channel. Oh, here's everything you need to do to appease the algorithm, and stuff like that. And it's like they're basically telling you like, oh, you need to manipulate people into keep watching. And my sort of takeaway from that is like, why? I was like, I don't know, this isn't the most interesting video on the world, but I'm hoping at least some people have this open on their second monitor. Is this gonna be like the hunter-killer episode where I die to yapping? Looks like we're gonna survive. After all, the only reason I'm making this video is to try and get a crazy combo for shorts, and then they're gonna click on the video and get sent over here to this like really low stem video. Weak enemies take double damage from attacks. I don't think we need another Shadow Step. A Nightmare. If we had a way to cheat it out, it could be really interesting. Otherwise, tracking is just so good. We're getting our combo pieces together. I've met your sisters, you know, such lovely girls they are. That's why they call her the Silent. Start each combat with an additional 4 energy. Everyone on Reddit says that Brightest Flame is OP. So I'll go ahead and take it, see what it's about. I've taken it before and lost the run really shortly after, so. We also need to fight elites. Not a big fan of Act 2 elites, but is what it is. And also the Sword of Stone is going to be really good for a Shiv build, if we can possibly get one together. I'll go ahead and try and add tags to this video so that people are watching specifically for the like YouTube meta stuff, then they can skip around. But I also just kind of wanted to like, I haven't made a video in a while that was just like me sitting down and talking. I guess that goes kind of back to like copying Northern Line, but who invented the format of sitting at a computer and yapping while you play video games? Maybe it was PewDiePie. But one way or another, I have arrived to do the exact same thing that only everybody before me has done before. So I'm pondering, like, where do I go with this channel now? Because obviously this video isn't quite in my normal rotation, but I also don't really have like a normal rotation anymore. I've kind of just been making whatever I want to make, and that feels really good, but on the other hand, it doesn't appease the YouTube gurus. The YouTube gurus specifically request that you make content for the exact same people every single video. I don't know how to do that, and two, I don't think I really want to either, because I don't think every single person, like every video, needs to appeal to every single person. It seems a bit unrealistic, and I think if you, well, not to like throw shots at anybody, but I think if you are doing that, this deck has no attacks in it. You're not making like unique content for a unique audience, because you're gonna have an audience, but like there's gonna be people in that audience that not every video is for them, and the stylizing of like, oh, your thumbnail and title have to be vague baiting is what I've seen it called online, and I really like that term for it, where, oh my god, the miniature tent is right there. That can be a YouTube short. Okay, but I want to make videos that are unique and that people can watch them and they'll be like, oh my god, if this guy makes more like this in the future, I want to watch that. I want to be notified about that. And I don't think you make that if your entire goal is to just vague bait and appeal to everybody. Because like, I don't know, personally my brain has gotten absolutely burned out on vague baiting content of like, oh, what's gonna happen in this video? It's gonna be crazy, but we're not gonna tell you what it is in the thumbnail and title because that would be bad for the analytics. And I guess I'm kind of doing the same thing by like clickbaiting with this video, but it's different. It's different. It's different when I do it. I guess I'll brightest flame. Not exactly what I'm wanting to see. Never mind. That's exactly what I wanted to see. I love Snakebite, but it's not happening right now. Our deck is getting like ridiculously big to the point that a crazy combo is probably no longer within our grasp. Unplayable cards. Whenever you play power, deal 8 damage to all enemies? Interesting. Where's the next shop? We'd have to skip an elite. I'll just take the gold. Unfortunate. So back in my day, people used to just like sit there and watch people play video games. And I ponder, why is that? I think I've come to a conclusion. Or specifically, like, why does that not happen anymore? What an awful turn. To draw everything I want, except it's going to kill me to do so. Skill potion. Okay, maybe we can do this. And then dagger spray. We're just gonna take so much damage by doing this. Wow. Or I guess we can do this. Took 15 damage from that. That hurts. Well, I think, honestly... Whoa, wait, they changed. All skills are tainted too. Tainted, take additional damage from attacks this turn. Aw. And you don't get free energy when you attack them anymore. Did too many people disrespect the cube and now... Or the prism, and now the prism has to be OP? Is that what happened? Because I'm not liking it. I don't know, I guess now would be a good time to die in the game, not in real life. On the other hand, it wasn't even close. Not even a little bit. Candelabra is pretty good. And Practition could be pretty good. We have a really thick deck. We need, like, Calculated Gamble. Bag of Marbles is also really good. As long as we can stay alive, I think we probably can get something going on. Something cooking. I remember I generally want to kill this one in the back first. But we kind of got an awful draw here. Unfortunate. Yeah, because now we kill the one in the back. And... let's see. We're gonna do 10 damage. We need to play all of our cards, but in the correct order. Oh. Okay, well I'm glad we had enough damage because that would have been really sad. I could Brightest Flame. Try and end the combat this turn. It didn't work out that way because I played the cards in an order that made it not work out that way, but oh well. So I guess if anyone's still watching at this point in the video, like, what are your thoughts on all this? On the changing of the YouTube landscape? I look at my analytics and see that the only people that watch these videos are 99% male and like 60% between the ages of 25 to 34, which in a way is kind of wholesome because it's like making videos that feel like they're for... oh no. Dangers of having OBS open on your second monitor. I'm making videos for... okay, we survived with 1 HP. For people that I guess are like me, that I think would like them. And I don't know, I miss this sort of like low stimulation environment from YouTube that just doesn't really exist anymore. And it looks like we are going to die. A bit unfortunate, but I think that's a nice place to wrap up the video. Alright, Intimancer. Well, I already basically just did an outro. Kinda naturally, like right off the dome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I did not get my crazy combo to make a cool YouTube short, but on the other hand, I feel happy with the run. If you like the run, maybe go ahead and subscribe. I've got some more funny videos I'm working on that'll hopefully come out soon. And I'm excited for it, so that means you should be excited for it as well. And until next time, you all have a beautiful day.